U.S. President Donald Trump urged Hamas militants on Tuesday to agree to what he called a final proposal for a 60-day ceasefire with Israel and Gaza. Trump on Truth Social said Israel had agreed to the conditions to finalize a 60-day ceasefire, quote, during which time we will work with all parties to end the war. He also said representatives for Qatar and Egypt would deliver what he called this final proposal to Hamas. And were the Iran-backed group not to accept this deal, Trump said the situation in the Middle East would, quote, only get worse. The president told reporters earlier in the day that he is hopeful that a ceasefire for hostages deal can be achieved next week between the two sides. He is set to meet Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu at the White House on Monday.
We're also going to talk about Gaza. We want to get the rest. We got a lot of hostages back, but we're going to talk about Gaza.
The war in Gaza was triggered when Hamas-led militants attacked Israel on October 7, 2023, killing 1,200 people and taking 251 hostages, according to Israeli tallies. Gaza's health ministry says Israel's subsequent military assault on the coastal enclave has killed over 56,000 Palestinians. Hamas has said it is willing to free remaining hostages in Gaza under any deal to end the war, while Israel says it can only end if Hamas is disarmed and dismantled. Hamas refuses to lay down its arms. Throughout the conflict, the two sides have shown little sign of a readiness to budge from their entrenched positions. Trump and his aides appear to be seeking to use any momentum from U.S. and Israeli strikes on Iran nuclear sites, as well as a ceasefire that took hold last week in that conflict, to secure a lasting truce in the war in Gaza.
Hi, I'm Jasmine Levin, and I proudly own and operate Puppy Levin. Puppy Levin is a pet care salon dedicated to caring for your furry companions. We provide certified dog grooming services, along with boarding and doggy daycare. Our facility is family-owned and operated and promise personalized care for every pet that comes through our doors. If you're worried about your furry friend being lonely when you're gone, we also have on-site personnel 24/7 just for their comfort. Follow us on Facebook and call or text us at 814-758-9259 to make an appointment today.
Anyone with a kind and generous heart and a little money can be a philanthropist. You too can be a force for good in our community, and the Crawford Heritage Community Foundation is here to help you make the most of your charitable giving. We've partnered with hundreds of people like you to make our world and our community a better place. You can give through us to support scholarships or any charitable organization or purpose. Whether you're interested in establishing a permanent endowment or adding to an existing fund, we want to be a part of your plan. Contact us when you're ready to make your mark. Together, we can make your contribution go further.
The Gordon B. Garrett Funeral Home has been serving the needs of Titusville and surrounding communities since 1965. Mr. Garrett believed in tradition and commitment to excellence, standards that have been passed down from one generation to now a new generation, who will work to provide you with a beautiful, lasting tribute to your loved one. When you need them, they will be there for you. This has been their foundation for almost 60 years. The Gordon B. Garrett Funeral Home, 303 North Washington Street in Titusville.
Thinking about switching to 5G home internet? Think again. Unlike Zoom from Armstrong, 5G home internet is delivered by a cell tower. The further away you are, or the more devices connected to that tower, the slower your internet is. Cell phone providers also play favorites. When their network gets busy, cell phones win, and your home internet pays the price. Stick with Armstrong to get more data, more speed, and internet whenever you need it, not whenever they want. Armstrong, keeping you connected.
Sheer Design is Titusville's exclusive Paul Mitchell-focused salon. This full-service salon specializes in coloring, cuts, nails, and tanning. Owner Angela Saxon has over 20 years' experience as a Paul Mitchell professional. She and her licensed staff offer all cuts and styles for men and women of all ages. Call 814-827-0010 or stop in at 116 South Kerr Street in Titusville.
J. Gill Plumbing and Heating takes pride in being the premier heating and air conditioning service provider in the area. With over 30 years of experience, our highly skilled and certified technicians will work closely with you to address your heating and air conditioning repair, installation, or maintenance needs. Our team is dedicated to making your home the ultimate place of comfort. Call today to get a free estimate. We also offer financing options and membership opportunities that provide peace of mind and cost savings. Call J. Gill Plumbing and Heating today or visit them online 24/7 at jgillplumbingheating.com.
If you're looking for a professional massage therapist, Tranquil Moments Massage in Titusville is here for you. Ray and Rauch graduated from Slippery Rock University with a bachelor's degree in exercise and rehabilitative sciences with an emphasis in athletic training. Tranquil Moments offers a wide range of services, from Swedish massage to deep tissue, sugar scrubs to hot towel inclusion therapy. Like them on Facebook and visit their website to learn more about all the services they offer. Tranquil Moments Massage in Titusville.
Share the fun of train travel and relive our country's oil history as you ride the OC&T through the valley that changed the world. Learn about the past while traveling on vintage cars. See a variety of wildlife with stops at Drakewell Park, Petroleum Center, and Oil Creek State Park. Arrive early and see the vast collection of train and railroad memorabilia at Perry Street Station. After the ride, enjoy a night's stay at the Caboose Motel. For seasonal specials or for more information, visit octrr.org or call 814-676-1733.
U.S. stocks ended mixed on Tuesday, with the Dow gaining just under 1%, the S&P 500 edging down marginally, and the Nasdaq shedding more than 0.8%. The Senate's passage of President Donald Trump's tax and spending package had investors weighing the bill's stimulative effects against its multi-trillion-dollar cost, said Alexander Morris, CEO and Chief Investment Officer of FM Investments.
Today, I think we're really seeing the impact of Washington on Wall Street, which is domestic stocks, big name stocks are moving up, some fear of what's going to happen into higher volatility technology names, but a realistic understanding that the government is going to spend heavily so, and it's going to spend in the names you know and love. If you look at names that are moving, tech names aren't going down, they're just coming off record highs. And it's okay for us to have a day or two of reprieve off of what otherwise is not the macro backdrop for all-time record highs in U.S. equity markets.
Meanwhile, Elon Musk's revived criticism of Trump's bill weighed on shares of Tesla. The EV maker's stock ended more than 5% lower after Trump threatened to cut off the billions of dollars in subsidies that Musk's companies get from the federal government. Among other movers, shares of U.S.-based casino operators rose after Macau reported a rise in June gambling revenue. Shares of Wynn Resorts and Las Vegas Sands rose nearly 9% each, while shares of MGM Resorts International added more than 7%. Healthcare stocks helped boost the blue-chip Dow, with United Health and Amgen each gaining more than 4%, the latter coming within striking distance of its all-time high reached in December. Investors now shift their focus to Thursday's non-farm payrolls report, which could help recalibrate bets for a rate cut from the Federal Reserve as soon as July.
In the Swiss Alpine resort of Kandersteg, officials are preparing for the event of a disaster. They're closely monitoring a deteriorating mountain peak after a glacier collapse and massive rock slide buried a neighboring village. This is Blatten, a village of around 300 people in the Swiss Alps, which was buried after a chunk of glacier broke off and triggered a cascade of ice, earth and rock. Thanks to early warning systems, it was evacuated 10 days before the catastrophe. It's a scenario that neighboring Kandersteg is now preparing for. Since 2018, the threat of rock slides in Kandersteg has heightened. The discovery of a distinctive rocky peak, the Spitzerstein, losing height, made the village a testing ground for technology that monitors what is likely the impact of climate change on the Alps, where the melting of permafrost is weakening rock structures that were long frozen solid. Here is Yves Buehler, the head of the Alpine Remote Sensing Team.
The risk is that we have a big rock slide, and the rock slide could go also into the lake and produce a big flood wave, which could produce then a large debris flow going down to Kandersteg. So now the big question is how much of the material is releasing at once? Is it everything together, which would be quite a big disaster, or is it just block by block and then probably not much damage is done? But this is really hard to estimate how it will go.
Right now, monitoring technologies including GPS, radars and drones are being used to track the risks in Kandersteg. For example, sensors in the Spitzenstein show the mountain shifting by 2.3 feet a day. Kandersteg's mayor, René Mieder, said,
There is thousands of places in Switzerland where the ground is moving. And it really depends. Ground motion alone is not really an alarm sign. It depends on how the motion is going. Is it going faster? Is it going straight? Or is it going slower? And this is what we are working on, to detect this development of the motion.
Residents, who already get regular updates on the mountain's movements via email and WhatsApp, have faith in the technology. In case of major movement, they should receive warnings at least 48 hours in advance. Mieder says Kandersteg will perform its first ever full evacuation drill next year.
They've made good preparations, I feel. So, it's one of those things you don't know when and you don't know how much. So I don't worry too much.
He is confident the town's dams and daily monitoring prepare it well to avert disaster, but warns the threat extends far beyond Kandersteg.
Blatten, Kandersteg. That's the tip of the iceberg.
Spitze des Eisbergs.
All right, middle of the week, Wednesday. Let's take a look at that weather forecast for northwest Pennsylvania. Areas of dense fog this morning, plenty of sunshine to come today, and temperatures in the low 80s. A few passing clouds tonight with lows in the low 60s. Thursday, partly cloudy, low 80s. Friday for the 4th of July, partly cloudy, low 80s. Saturday, partly cloudy, upper 80s. Sunday, mostly sunny and a high around 90 degrees. It's going to be hot on Sunday. Area temperatures this morning, Meadville at 64 degrees, Cambridge Springs, Edinburgh at 63, Titusville 61, Franklin 63, Oil City 63 degrees here at 716. Do I hear 717? Going once, going twice. It's 16 minutes past the hour of 7 o'clock. This is the morning drill. Happy Wednesday. I know. Happy Wednesday, middle of the week. Yes.
Yeehaw.
Yeehaw, huh?
We made it this far.
Hey, not only getting through the week, getting closer to the 4th of July.
We are.
Yeah, that's exciting. Hey, what's the story? Cracker Barrel. Did you see this?
I think that was a joke.
No, honey.
Okay.
No.
You're not, okay.
No.
What are you doing?
I'm bringing up the news story. Cracker Barrel locations are slowly getting a makeover, and some longtime fans are mourning the loss of what made it special. The chain, famous for its Southern comfort food and antique-filled dining rooms, is quietly phasing out its trademark old-timey decor in favor of a sleeker, more modern look. This is according to the Wall Street Journal. The new design strips out the rustic wood finishes, the Americana props that you see, on the wall, and that front porch feel, replacing it with cleaner lines and a more minimalistic layout.
Ew. Yeah, no.
So basically what they're saying is it's losing its character.
Correct.
Its theming.
That's wrong.
For a regular...
That's not going to pull people in. It's going to push people away. That's crazy.
But I think if you're Cracker Barrel, I think they're looking... I don't know if they're obviously something's changed. People aren't eating there, or I don't know why they think that's going to make the difference.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't think so. Try again.
I don't know. I don't know why we don't go there that often.
Isn't the food like it's been a long time since I've been?
It's been a really long time. I don't know. I can't answer that question. I don't know why.
I'm not. Have our kids even been to? I think we took them when they were like little, right?
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. I do know, like, I think like the shop, like their shop. Mm-hmm. That usually has really cool stuff, especially around the holidays.
Yeah.
So.
But people are going in and checking that out, but not eating?
But not, yeah, I don't know. Not quite sure.
Yeah.
Can't answer that question. But I feel like, I don't know, the minimalistic atmosphere isn't really going to draw.
Boring.
Yeah, I can't handle it.
Yeah.
It drives me nuts.
I just don't. So here, I'll continue with the story. This is interesting. The company began testing the remodel last year, updating about 25 to 30 stores as part of the pilot. The plan is to keep rolling out changes through 2026. The refresh look includes lighter paint colors, new fixtures and lighting, and walls with a lot less going on. In some spots, even the rocking chairs are gone, swapped for booths or simplified seating. Mm-mm. Yeah, fans are saying the soul of Cracker Barrel is gone.
Yep, I would agree.
So, according,
go ahead.
I was going to say, according to Cracker Barrel's blog, every piece from butter churns and oil lamps to vintage signage was a real antique pulled from a warehouse in Tennessee that holds more than 90,000 historic items. Each location was custom designed by the decor team, meaning that no two stores were exactly the same. So, I don't know about you. Well, I do know about you. We enjoy, like, going to those types of places that are, like, themed or have that character to it.
Yeah. Agreed.
So, I don't know. I don't know what they're hoping to get with it. Well, obviously, they want people there.
I don't. Yeah, I think that's. Oof. I don't think that's a very good move, but okay.
Mm-hmm.
There are people who get big bucks to make these bad decisions, and they're the experts.
Well, look at who's making a comeback? Red Lobster. You see the commercials with the new CEO. You know, bringing back the stuff that made Red Lobster,
like the biscuits. Just kidding.
I don't think they took those away.
That's the only thing I remember from Red Lobster are the biscuits. But go ahead.
Okay.
I know.
I don't know.
Go ahead.
What?
I thought you were going to talk more about Red Lobster. I didn't see that.
No. Oh, yeah, it's on. Yeah. CEO's like out, which is great. Out, in front and saying, hey, the stuff that you loved, we know.
Well, we were in Erie yesterday and drove past their old location. It's a really cool building. Like, I don't know. It was really nice.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Interesting. We'll see what happens.
Okay.
Hey, you sent me something this morning. I saw this yesterday. This was, again, this is something that's been floating out there on the old Facebook. Do you want to read it?
No, it's just funny. It made me laugh.
Okay.
I just sent it to you because it was funny. But you can read it.
I saw it yesterday.
Oh, I didn't.
This is from a fire department, right?
It's not. It's half true, half.
Oh, this isn't? Oh, so I shouldn't read this.
Did you read it?
Oh, no.
Did you even read it?
I know. I thought these were real tips.
Oh, my gosh. Okay. Calling 911 on the 4th of July. Do not call 911 just for people setting off fireworks. Do not call them because the debris is landing in your yard. Do not call them if your wife is angry. And do not call
I gotta
them
write this down now.
If your cat is upset and hiding. You do need to call them if you actually have a house fire. There are body parts landing in the yard. The wife won't wake up and the cat is shooting back.
That's when you
Those
call.
are when you do call. Yes, it was a funny.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, no, I saw something going around about the do's and don'ts for the 4th of July.
Yeah.
So I just thought you sent that to me, the same thing I saw, which was the more serious one.
Oh, yeah, no,
But
I didn't see
no,
the serious one.
you're-
I saw the funny one.
Okay.
Sorry.
No, that's great.
Yeah.
That's great. So do call if something is on fire.
Is on fire and there is an actual problem. Don't call to tell on your neighbors for having a good time. And I get it. Like, we're lucky. Our dog doesn't flip out. There are dogs that do flip out over fireworks. So I'm not discounting that at all, but it's, the 4th of July. So
Yeah. Well, I remember this was a couple years ago, I think. There was, I think, a family or something that I feel bad. So I'll be the bad guy in this, right? Because I will be. Somebody was like, hey, my daughter has a certain disability and, the loud fire trucks at the parade, can we not have those? No. I'm sorry. Don't bring her to the parade. Or bring earmuffs or something to cover her ears. But it's a parade. There are loud noises. There are just certain things,
I think
sorry.
Yeah. No, I agree. We've talked. It goes farther too. Like, we've talked. Like, we have about a friend who has a child with a peanut allergy. She's never once said, "Hey, my daughter's coming over, so please don't serve anything with peanut butter." They just know, like, what to stay away from, and they do it. That's not the case anymore. Like, there are classrooms that, like, oh, hey, this child has a peanut allergy, so your child can't have a peanut butter and jelly sandwich in the room.
Yeah.
Like,
come on.
There might be a family that can't afford to send their kid to school with a, full
I
turkey sandwich or whatever. Like, that might be what's affordable to them. So it makes it different. I think we also had a student where in our oldest son's class that had an affliction to goldfish crackers. Well, our kids like those. Like, that's their favorite, go-to snack, but they weren't allowed to take them in their lunch or for anything because this child's affliction. I don't know. I am allergic to things, but I'm never going to say, hey, please don't have that around me. Well, that's your thing. Nobody knows that there are things I'm just have known, and I stay away from it.
Right. Well, I guess my thing is, it's kind of that where you're torn. Like, a school, is probably looking at everybody and just protecting everybody. But at the same time, the world isn't going to shut down for you. So you need to learn how to navigate in that world.
Correct.
So when do you start to say, okay, listen, no goldfish in the classroom, but at some point you're going to be around goldfish, so you gotta figure this out. So I don't know. Hey, let's get to birthdays and what we're celebrating. Today's the second day of.
Are we done being the bad people?
We're done. I told you.
I'm not saying I don't know. Never mind. I'll just be the bad person. Are we ready?
Yes, I believe so.
Comedian Larry David.
Wait. No, we're not. Now we're not ready. Okay.
I said, are we ready? You said, I believe
so. Get the music here. The birthday music. All right. Who's celebrating today? Let me guess. Larry David
is 78. Singer Michelle Branch is 42. Actress Ashley Tisdale is 40. Actress Lindsay Lohan is 39. And that is... Oh, no. Actress Margot Robbie is 35. Now that...
Margot Robbie?
Yeah, 35.
She's Barbie, right?
Yeah. 35.
Australian.
Yes.
Margot Robbie. All right, happy birthday to them. Happy birthday to you if today happens to be your birthday from all of us. What are we celebrating here today?
Today we have Freedom from Fear of Speaking Day. I Forgot Day. Made in the USA Day. National Anthem and Flag Day in Quaraco. National Disco Day. National Lint Awareness Day. National Report Military Fraud Day. National Recreation for the Disabled Day. World Sports Journalist Day. World UFO Day. And that's it. It's a pretty short day. It's the short list today.
UFO Day.
It's UFO Day. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I'm going to practice Freedom from Fear of Speaking Day.
Are you afraid?
No.
You're afraid to speak quietly.
I am. Later, I'll share the meme with you that I sent to my sisters, which they found very funny.
The number of times I have to look over at you during a conversation and like, use your inside voice.
I don't have one.
I know you don't have
There's
an inside.
not.
There is no filter or inside voice.
I always felt so bad because our oldest son has that same gift. Yep, I call it a gift. And people are like, use your inside voice, Sam. He doesn't have one. Like, really, there isn't one. You try, and you think you're trying.
No, I don't think so. I think it's just...
It does come out like that.
Uh-huh.
And then the more you tell me to use my inside voice, and the more I try, the worse it gets. And, it's not like I'm intentionally trying. There is no inside voice. Sorry. It's just a gift.
It is.
I started to call it a gift.
It's something, all right.
Yeah.
We're coming up on 7:30 here this morning. We got a busy morning ahead. Christa Lundy from the Meadville Chamber, Susan Williams from the Venango Chamber, Will Price from the United Way of the Venango and Titusville regions. So busy Wednesday this morning. This is the Morning Drill. Your news headlines are next.
Your summer by saving big at Community Chevrolet's Summer Kickoff Sales Event. We wanted to call it the Dog Days of Summer Sale, but that made Clark too excited.
They told me I had to go outside if I started barking.
Save more than $10,000 off MSRP on a new Silverado, like the electrifying 2025 Chevy Silverado EV. Or hit the beach in the all-new Chevy Malibu RS and save nearly $4,000. The Dog Days of the Summer Kickoff Sales Event. This month at Community Chevy.
Interstate Pipe and Supply takes pride in providing superior customer service. That's why our dedicated employees are well trained and have the experience to offer friendly, quick, and reliable service and support. Need materials delivered to your job site? No problem. Interstate offers fast delivery from our 4 locations in Western Pennsylvania. We also serve Eastern Ohio, Northern Western Virginia, and Western New York. Service means business at Western Pennsylvania's premier pipe and supply company, Interstate Pipe and Supply.
Vanderhoof Heating and Air Conditioning provides residential and light commercial air conditioning services throughout the area. They understand the importance of your cooling system working properly. That is why you can trust in Vanderhoof to do the job right. Whether it's a non-working air conditioner, yearly maintenance, or a new install, you can be assured that we will solve your problem quickly and efficiently. Your home's air conditioning system is far more than just temperature. It's a complete comfort system that combines temperature, humidity, air quality, and above all, safety. Vanderhoof Heating and Air Conditioning in Titusville.
Looking for expert orthopedic care? Dr. Charlie Gates, a trusted name at Titusville Area Hospital, can help you regain mobility and a better quality of life. With years of experience and a passion for personalized care, Dr. Gates specializes in treating a wide range of orthopedic conditions. Whether it's joint pain, sports injuries, or orthopedic surgery, trust Dr. Charlie Gates at Titusville Area Hospital for your orthopedic care. Call 814-827-9770 today to schedule your appointment.
Welcome to Inspire Med Spa, the place you know and love for massages, Botox, laser resurfacing, and semi-permanent makeup. Now we're offering even more, including laser hair removal, tattoo removal, and hair rejuvenation. Our team is here to provide expert care in a peaceful, luxurious environment designed with your relaxation in mind. And with our newly added services, now you can get all your beauty services in one place. Visit Inspire Med Spa today, because you deserve to look and feel your best.
I know sometimes we get into it and it's just hard on both of us, but try to understand me more and I'll try to do the same. But you have excuses because you're old, so it's okay.
Listening is a form of love. Find ways to support your kids at sounditouttogether.org.
Marsh Home Center Furniture, Appliances, and Bedding is located at 305 East Spring Street in Titusville. Marsh Home Center welcomes you in to explore their growing inventory of name brand furniture, appliances, and bedding. Need something not currently in stock? No problem. Order from Marsh's online catalog and have it delivered right to your door. Visit Marsh's to see their entire showroom, ask questions, see what items are on sale, or just stop in and say hi. Marsh Home Center Furniture, Appliances, and Bedding, behind Giant Eagle in Titusville.
Whether you want to go and lead in your craft in the trades, whether you want to go and be that nurse or medical worker and have a real impact on lives, or whether you want to go and help that business improve its bottom line, this is the place. And now is your time to go with confidence, to go with skill, to go succeed. The Education and Training Center at Pitt Titusville.
Vehicle shopping? Make sure you check out Titusville Ford first. Shop our amazing selection of new and pre-owned cars, trucks, and SUVs in stock. Visit us on Route 8 in Titusville and see why our customer service is a cut above the rest. Titusville Ford, your hometown dealer.
U.S. stocks ended mixed on Tuesday, with the Dow gaining just under 1%, the S&P 500 edging down marginally, and the Nasdaq shedding more than 0.8%. The Senate's passage of President Donald Trump's tax and spending package had investors weighing the bill's stimulative effects against its multi-trillion-dollar cost, said Alexander Morris, CEO and Chief Investment Officer of FM Investments.
Today, I think we're really seeing the impact of Washington on Wall Street, which is domestic stocks, big name stocks are moving up, some fear of what's going to happen into higher volatility technology names, but a realistic understanding that the government is going to spend heavily so, and it's going to spend in the names you know and love. If you look at names that are moving, tech names aren't going down, they're just coming off record highs. And it's okay for us to have a day or two of reprieve off of what otherwise is not the macro backdrop for all-time record highs in U.S. equity markets.
Meanwhile, Elon Musk's revived criticism of Trump's bill weighed on shares of Tesla. The EV maker's stock ended more than 5% lower after Trump threatened to cut off the billions of dollars in subsidies that Musk's companies get from the federal government. Among other movers, shares of U.S.-based casino operators rose after Macau reported a rise in June gambling revenue. Shares of Wynn Resorts and Las Vegas Sands rose nearly 9% each, while shares of MGM Resorts International added more than 7%. Healthcare stocks helped boost the blue-chip Dow, with United Health and Amgen each gaining more than 4%, the latter coming within striking distance of its all-time high reached in December. Investors now shift their focus to Thursday's non-farm payrolls report, which could help recalibrate bets for a rate cut from the Federal Reserve as soon as July.
Well, here's a real quick look at that weather forecast for northwest Pennsylvania. Areas of dense fog this morning. Plenty of sunshine, though, today, and temperatures in the low 80s. A few passing clouds tonight, otherwise generally clear. Lows in the low 60s. Thursday, partly cloudy, low 80s. Friday, 4th of July, partly cloudy, low 80s. Saturday, partly cloudy, upper 80s. Sunday, mostly sunny, and temperatures around 90. This is a perfect lead into the 4th and after. It's going to be a great weekend, so be safe out there. Meadville this morning at 64 degrees. Cambridge Springs, Edinburgh, 64. Titusville, 61. Franklin, 64. Oil City, 64 degrees here at 7:38. Joining us this morning is the Executive Director of the Meadville Area Chamber of Commerce. It's Christa Lundy. Hi, Christa. How are you today?
Good morning, and that is a great forecast for a holiday weekend. Looking forward to some outdoor time, some time on the boat, fireworks on the lake. Friday, Pie Tuning, I'm going to a friend's house, and Saturday, the lake at Conneaut Lake, and picnics, and just looking forward to some great times ahead. And like you said, everyone be safe. This is always a weekend where there's a lot of extra traffic. People are staying out later. There's a lot of parties happening. Just everybody have fun, but be safe.
I will assume that law enforcement will be out in full force.
Oh, absolutely, they will.
Yeah, just be good. Be safe. You can have fun.
Absolutely.
Just be smart about it. And you're right. I'll tell you, there's so many great spots to hang out.
Mm-hmm.
Where do you even start?
Get on social media or ask your friends and see where all of the locations are for fireworks and celebrations and different things. We have a lot of events happening on our social media page. We try to share that. Get on the Visitors Bureau page. They are showing a lot of things that are happening as well. So in every small town community, there's something fun happening for the weekend, and the weather is cooperating. And I can't believe it is July. So happy July, Luke. I mean, Thunder is less than a month away now.
So I was going to ask you, when you get to the 4th, is it sort of like, I know you're trying to enjoy it, but is it like in the back of your mind going, oh my
it's
gosh.
More than in the back of my mind.
Okay.
Like I said, I'm off this week, but I'm still, I was in Monday, and yesterday I was there. The girl's like, what are you doing? I thought you were off. I'm like, I am, but I'm there for like an hour and a half, and I'm doing things. I don't want to come back to like a million emails, so I always answer my emails and so forth, but we have so much going on. Yesterday I worked on Thunder in the City. Today I'm going in and working on the wine walk.
Ooh.
Doing a little wine walk research. I think tomorrow I took the day off and going to go to a few places and get some forms signed that I haven't heard back from people, and looking forward to that. But like you said, Thunder in the City is August 1st and 2nd. It's on the front page of our newsletter everyone will be receiving this week. We are kicking off with some new things this year. Actually, the Thursday night, July 31st, is the Tool City Summer Night Cruise. Those of us that used to cruise the Diamond, I remember getting my car all cleaned up and cruising the Diamond. We are bringing that back. So lineup will be on South Main Street from 6 to 7, and then the cruise is from 7 to 9. Live music and food trucks, so looking forward to that. And then we kick things off right at noon the next day. Not noon, sorry. Noon, we will be shutting the streets down. At 5 o'clock, festivities will start. We need time to set up. But Friday night music, Clever Norman kicks things off, and then Jake's Blues, one of my absolute favorites, and he will rock the house and bring a lot of people. So that's Friday evening. Saturday, we have Fred Oakman at 2 o'clock, Jeff Rose and Joe Thompson from Titusville at 3, Ripper Acoustics, Tyler Ripper at 4, Me and the Boy at 5, and Mayflower Hill, some country rock at 7 p.m. So big thank you to Dave Stone at Firehouse Tap and Grill for being our entertainment sponsor, and then also to Bayshore Homes for being our sponsor for the afternoon music after the Meadville Master the Mic singing competition, which has been one of my favorites since we started. This will be the 3rd year for it. We talk often about how blessed we are with local talented musicians. You have a family that's talented, son that's talented. I do as well, but we support local music, and this is a great way to do that. If you are out there and listening and you play the guitar, you play the keyboards, you sing, whatever it might be, join the Meadville Master the Mic Singing competition sponsored by Armstrong. Win some cash, $500 for first place, $250 for second, $100 for third. We have about a dozen contestants last year, but that happens Saturday.
Do they just show up and sign up, or do they have to call in advance?
They have to send us some music in advance. Julie Panchora, our marketing coordinator, who happens to be musically talented, half of the duo 50 Miles to Empty, is handling that event, so looking forward to that. First Friday is also that Friday with sidewalk sales, and we have the Power Wheels Grand Prix for the young at heart and the kids that want to participate in that. Big thank you for that from Bayshore Homes and Howard Hanna Bainbridge Kaufman Real Estate. And then the Classic Car Cruise-In is Saturday morning. The Tool City Jeep Jam and then Jeep Show. Meadville Master the Mic, like I said. The veteran-led bike parade will leave Street Track and Trail, and they are once again our Ultra Classic sponsored. Big thank you to them. New this year, Fire Dancers will be the grand finale after Mayflower Hill on Saturday night. We have new again this year, the Real Magic Steve. First time he is participating, so looking forward to that. That is sponsored by Smoky Martin's Barbecue. Robobots demonstration, and then all our crafters and food vendors. So going to be a fun weekend, and thanks to our many sponsors who helped make that event possible. Free family fun. We have a lot of food trucks lined up. We have great restaurants downtown to begin with, but a lot of our merchants have sales and specials, and we're trying to fill the streets with more crafters and vendors. So if you know of anyone interested in being part of that, that's what I'm doing the next couple weekends in all, actually. Event research, going to some events. And the staff and I and our committee, I said, if you're going anywhere, if you're going to a car show, if you're going to a Jeep show, if you're going to your local community fair, whatever it might be, when we have save the date cards for Thunder in the City and all the festivities, take them out, give them to vendors, trying to make the most and the biggest event that we've had. So
I know one of your favorites is coming up here in a couple weeks, Townville Old Home Days.
It is local. Townville is my home. I live in Meadville now, but Townville will always be my home. And Old Home Days, I don't think I've ever missed a year. My nieces are in the pageant this year. My mom ran that pageant for many years, but it's just good feeling and seeing my parents' friends, my grandparents' friends, people that I went to church with for 30 years of my life and sat in the same pew. It's just a good feeling, makes you smile, makes you happy, and I love seeing a lot of classmates that I graduated with. And Thunder in the City is very similar, just on a bigger scale, but a lot of people have their class reunions or their family reunions on these weekends when these small town community festivals happen, because a lot of people come home for them to see family and friends. There's live music at a lot of them. There's great food at a lot of them. There's fun things you can do with your family for free. So that doesn't happen in some big cities, so we're very blessed that we do that. But you have Oil Festival here. Susan has, Oil Heritage Festival. Susan has, Tracy has, Autumn Leaf Festival. We all have different festivals that we're proud of and part of, but they also we're very proud of those events being in our small town communities.
Well, a couple things, Chris. A lot of work goes into it. First of all,
absolutely.
But it rallies the community. It brings everybody together. Those are special events. So I have to ask for Thunder. As people are coming in, where do they park? Where can people start to think? Okay, if we're coming into town, this is a good spot.
Park at the downtown mall and walk up. Park near the parking garage. All the side streets that have parking. Just because Chestnut Street and part of Park Avenue is closed, all of the side streets around that are open. Saturday, the Diamond will be open because we won't be using the Diamond other than Friday evening for the event, so that will be open. So
you'll find something.
You're gonna find a spot. So and it's all walkable. You can park in different parking areas. There's parking up behind Erie Bank in those lots. There's parking down by Voodoo Brewery in the parking lot down there. There's a lot of different lots that you can park in.
Okay, and as you said, you just walk everywhere and just enjoy it. And I'll tell you, you're probably going to come across something that you haven't seen or recognized before as you're walking around.
So. Absolutely. So, and check out all the merchants that are downtown. We have a really thriving downtown. A lot happening. And then, that's just the first. So we have August 6th is our business after hours at Easy Desert Customs. They are just fantastic couple. Looking forward to being there. It's in Sandy Lake, and custom golf carts and other ATVs and things like that. And then they have distillery that's there, and food, and then a bait and tackle shop, a little bit of everything. So be sure to attend that. That's August 6th. And then later in the month, we have August 15th is our ribbon cutting at Prestige Shine Detailing, new chamber member out in Conneaut Lake who does top-notch work on your boat or on your vehicles, on your fleet of vehicles, your personal vehicles, whatever it might be. But we will be there at noon on Friday, August 15th. Rounding out the month, our Business Women's Roundtable in August is the 25th, and we are going to be at Eternal Glow, but actually they're the ones that are sponsoring it, and we're going to be on the Barbara J with a tour around Conneaut Lake.
Wow.
So ladies, this is an event where only the first 40 women are able to do this, because that is what is reserved for the Barbara J. You cannot just show up at Eternal Glow. You have to make a reservation. There will be food and cocktails and mocktails and probably little gifts from Eternal Glow, from Erica in Conneaut Lake. They're doing a lot of collaborations with other businesses out there. But she is sponsoring that. They are also our wine glass tasting sponsor for our Wine, Brew, and Spirits Walk happening. Just talked to Erica this week about that. But ladies, if you are interested, please RSVP for the Businesswomen's Roundtable.
I cannot believe that this is...
I know.
Wow.
You got the wine walk up there. That's my next page here. The first 25 are confirmed, and if we get more than that, we will certainly allow that. But the first 25 hosts, and then wineries, breweries, and distilleries get back to us. So looking forward to that.
I want to ask you a question about this and other events as well, because I think there are some businesses that when I have conversations with folks, sometimes this comes up. But an event like this, it's successful right away. You put a lot into it, and it grows every year. Is it a challenge for you? Is it I guess you or the people attending that are kind of pushing the, hey, next year, every year we want to make it better?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Every year we want to make it better. You don't want to keep things the same. It'll get stale. And I'm blessed that I have been doing this for quite some time, and most of our events run very smoothly because we have a great committee that plans it and helps execute it. We have wonderful volunteers that help us with things. I have new people that are volunteering now that might be different than a few years ago. Some of the same people. Like Thunder in the City takes a lot of volunteers. A lot of volunteers, or else it would not be possible. Our golf outings, like anything that we do. But we are very blessed, and we're always having a wrap-up meeting, a summary of the event, like the week following. Hey, what did you notice that was the best part of the event? And what is some constructive criticism? What could we possibly do differently? And with example, Julie being new to the chamber, she had not been to a golf outing before. So she came to the women's golf outing. She's looking forward to this one. But she's like, hey, why did you do this? And because that's just, getting new ideas, a fresh look on things is always a positive thing to do, because you may not realize that, yeah, you've been doing it that long time and it works, but boy, you could make it even better if you did this. So always try to think of fresh ideas and things like that. And of course, we want to make it the best it possibly can be to benefit the chamber, but also benefit our members and benefit the community all at the same time.
Excellent. Because I think a lot of people struggle with that. They think, okay, how do I, put on a successful event? What goes into it? What do I do to keep people engaged? If it's going to be an annual thing.
Right.
That's why I wanted to ask that, because I think it's inspiring to know that, yes, you're constantly working, and sometimes it's probably little adjustments, and sometimes it's
correct.
Maybe something big.
You're very correct. And just like with Leadership Meadville, we ask ourselves and the class and the committee the same thing. The week after Leadership Meadville, every committee meeting, I have feedback from the class. What was your favorite part of the day? What was something you would change for next year? And sometimes an expert in their field might not be the best speaker to talk about that. Sometimes a location isn't easy to get in and out of and be dropped off at, and we don't have enough time there to really learn about the business. We might need to go somewhere else. Small changes can make a world of difference, and there might be someone different at that place who's a great speaker and can have a slideshow or something different. We just want to make it the best experience possible, and also, not everything we do is about making a profit. We are also a business. We are a nonprofit, and I run it like a business. We have to.
Yeah.
But we also want to do everything we can to be promoting our members, promoting our community, educating our youth and other leaders that are leaders for tomorrow. And so not everything is about making a profit. So we sometimes do some things for free too as well. So we run it like a business, but we also are thinking of the bigger picture and what we do throughout the year, not just event by event.
Absolutely. Good answer.
Well, thank you.
Yeah. You're watching The Morning Drill on Stream TV and on the Armstrong Neighborhood Channel. Christa Lundy is the Executive Director of the Meadville Area Chamber of Commerce, and talking about all the great events coming up. July is extremely busy. August is busy. September. And in between there, between Thunder and the Wine Walk, you've got golf, usually right at the end of August.
Fall golf outing is August 27th at Mount Hope Golf Course, so looking forward to that. I've had a few more teams register in the past couple days because I've been emailing people, hey, reserve your spot. And I know a lot of the same teams golf every year. But we need to know that information. We need to know who the teams are, what level you want to sponsor at, who is golfing, that kind of thing. And that's another thing. I'm in the space where at a meeting, I'm like, oh, well, I know these 10 teams are golfing. And Julie and Stephanie are like, we need their forms back. And we are scanning it, and we keep track. And Stephanie is my spreadsheet queen, and I'm like, oh, I know they're golfing. We need your forms back, everyone. So I'm getting a little more organized when it comes to that, and telling people that I know are golfing, please just tell me who you're golfing, and I'll fill out your form. But we need to have that, just like for the wine walk. We can't just assume that you've been a host every year, and I just assume that we need their form back. So understood.
Well, and that's good, right? But
it is good.
Yeah, but. And, here's the thing, too. Why do they keep coming back? They have a good time. Mm-hmm. They network. It's fun. You make it a great experience, and they have a good time. So, yeah.
And they're telling their friends. A lot of people are bringing some of their biggest clients, some of their biggest customers. They're bringing someone new to meet other people on the golf course, whatever it might be. So there's still time. There's still some room. There is still time. There is still room. Okay. So there's some great sponsorship opportunities there, and a lot of business takes place on a golf course. I'm sure you know that as well. So bring business cards with you. It's a relaxed atmosphere, fun day at Mount Hope, and a lot of sponsorship opportunities. Like I said, there's from whole sponsorships to breakfast, lunch, dinner, dessert sponsorships, the putt for booze game, things like that. And then, in the meantime, Leadership Meadville 16 is almost ready. So that's what I'm going to work on when I go to the office this morning for a little bit, and send out the emails to all of the people that filled out applications, send them the 2 information sessions to meet with Gary and I and Stephanie. She is the new primary contact person for the program from the chamber. She or I will be at each class with the class, so looking forward to that, meeting the next class and having them meet one another and meet Gary and hear all of the information about the next class and their days and what specific days they are and that kind of thing. So it's hard to believe.
And if you're somebody who's thinking like, I don't know if that really, I don't know, but yeah,
I don't know why you would think that. Anyone,
yes.
Whether you are 21 or 75, whether you are just starting a new career, whether you've been doing the same thing for 40 years, don't we all want to continue to grow in whatever we're doing and be the best leader that we can be the best mentor
spouse,
be the
friend.
best spouse, person, friend, partner, co-worker, whatever it might be. I would think we all want to do that, and that's just a part of the program. And that doesn't include the asset discovery portion. So all of the leaders that you're going to hear from on History Day, Agriculture Day, Manufacturing Day, Health and Wellness, Government and Public Safety, whatever it might be, you are hearing from experts and business and community leaders touring these places behind the scenes that you would never be able to get into on your own, and just being part of that group of Leadership Meadville alumni. We have over 300 leaders since the program has started that are now on boards of directors, that are volunteering at the soup kitchen, at the VFW, at whatever nonprofit they're part of, that are volunteering at the chamber, that are volunteering, for events and programs that we do, that are volunteering to be on the committee and help plan the future of the program. So I think I'll be there through Leadership Meadville 25. That's 10 more years. That's my goal. That's just hard to believe to say that. Just warming up. I had 5 years here, and I'm gonna have 25 there and be done.
And it doesn't matter if you're 25 or 65. This program can be very helpful. And you don't have to own a business.
Correct.
That's the other
thing. And
you
don't have to be from here, because I'm from here. I'm from Crawford County, born and raised, never leaving. Some people are transplants here. Some people, whatever the situation might be, you are going to learn something in every class. I guarantee you. I've been part of this is my 12th year. I learn something on every day that we do something. I learn a new CEO somewhere. I learn about their business, how they started. Wow, I didn't know that. Or I meet someone new, or I've driven by that business and it's somewhere I didn't understand what all they did. So it's just a great learning experience for yourself personally and professionally. I think I have one spot open, in all honesty. So
really?
Yeah, I do, which is very rare. So if anyone is listening, please get your completed application back to me as soon as possible. And we have one spot open at this time.
That's crazy. Christa, it's great seeing you.
It's great to see you as well.
Get out and support some wonderful businesses this holiday weekend.
Oh, I will. I'll do some local shopping, and I'll support some local musicians, tip them well. I'll eat at some restaurants. I don't plan on cooking from here on out. I'm off. So I will be supporting all of my members in the community. Have a great weekend, Luke.
Good to see you. For over 11 years, Triple M Roofing has been providing Amish quality craftsmanship and work ethic that you can rely on. Pole barns, decks, porches, siding, and almost all roofing needs, Triple M Roofing will get the job done on time without sacrificing quality or the promise to deliver within your budget. Call today for a free estimate. 814-964-0472. Waiting is what you'll do with the other guys. Getting it done is what we do. Amish owned and operated. We're Triple M Roofing.
Who can solve this equation? Ooh! Me. Anyone else? Fine. Jake from State Farm. Again.
All right. It's the personal price plan theorem. If you bundle your home and auto, that can equal an affordable price just for you.
Bundling. Just another way to save with the personal price plan. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Are you tired of juggling multiple pill bottles? Titusville Express Pharmacy has your solution, now offering compliance packaging. Your medication sorted and sealed by dose, making it easier than ever to stay on track. In a hurry? Take advantage of our convenient drive-through service. We also offer free local delivery for those that qualify. Titusville Express Pharmacy, where convenience meets care. Visit us today at 401 West Spring Street in Titusville. Simplify your medication routine with Titusville Express Pharmacy.
Poppy's Equipment and Storage Rental in Pleasantville is committed to providing our customers with exceptional service while offering quality rental equipment. Poppy's is now an authorized steel dealer with everything you need to have for sawing and cutting or mowing to digging. And of course, Poppy's has tents, tables, chairs, heaters, generators, barbecues, and more for your next wedding or get-together. Need firewood or propane? No problem. Whether you're in construction or a weekend warrior, reach out to Poppy's about your next project. Poppy's Place on the Tenesta Road in Pleasantville. Community Connect Federal Credit Union, serving Crawford, Venango, Forest, and Warren counties. Their mission is to provide quality, low-cost, and personal financial products for the growth and security of their members and families. Stop in, call, or visit our website, communityconnectfcu.com, and click Join to get started. Community Connect Federal Credit Union, 1050 East Spring Street in Titusville.
Fat Chad's Brewing is Titusville's premier dining destination, offering fine dining served with a cold beverage and great conversations. Try our new menu items, the T-bone steak, homemade meatloaf dinner, or soft shell crab tacos. Our pasta entries and sandwiches are just as popular. Try the new lobster ravioli, shrimp and scallop pasta, or our popular Asiago chicken. Don't forget about our famous burgers or fish sandwich, all served with fresh cut fries. Come in Saturday nights for Wild Game Saturdays. For good food and good times, it's Fat Chad's Brewing in Titusville.
Titusville Market Square is home to over 100 unique vendors featuring antiques, collectibles, candles, coins, baked goods, dairy products, food items, comic books, toys, and so much more. You'll discover something new every time you walk through the door. Did we mention the selection of baked goods, breads, Clark's Donuts, and Amish pies? Titusville Market Square has you covered. Stop in to explore today. Titusville Market Square in downtown Titusville.
Thinking about switching to 5G home internet? Think again. Unlike Zoom from Armstrong, 5G home internet is delivered by a cell tower. The further away you are, or the more devices connected to that tower, the slower your internet is. Cell phone providers also play favorites. When their network gets busy, cell phones win, and your home internet pays the price. Stick with Armstrong to get more data, more speed, and internet whenever you need it, not whenever they want. Armstrong, keeping you connected.
U.S. stocks ended mixed on Tuesday, with the Dow gaining just under 1%, the S&P 500 edging down marginally, and the Nasdaq shedding more than 0.8%. The Senate's passage of President Donald Trump's tax and spending package had investors weighing the bill's stimulative effects against its multi-trillion-dollar cost, said Alexander Morris, CEO and Chief Investment Officer of FM Investments.
Today, I think we're really seeing the impact of Washington on Wall Street, which is domestic stocks, big name stocks are moving up, some fear of what's going to happen into higher volatility technology names, but a realistic understanding that the government is going to spend heavily so, and it's going to spend in the names you know and love. If you look at names that are moving, tech names aren't going down, they're just coming off record highs. And it's okay for us to have a day or two of reprieve off of what otherwise is not the macro backdrop for all-time record highs in U.S. equity markets.
Meanwhile, Elon Musk's revived criticism of Trump's bill weighed on shares of Tesla. The EV maker's stock ended more than 5% lower after Trump threatened to cut off the billions of dollars in subsidies that Musk's companies get from the federal government. Among other movers, shares of U.S.-based casino operators rose after Macau reported a rise in June gambling revenue. Shares of Wynn Resorts and Las Vegas Sands rose nearly 9% each, while shares of MGM Resorts International added more than 7%. Healthcare stocks helped boost the blue chip Dow, with United Health and Amgen each gaining more than 4%, the latter coming within striking distance of its all-time high reached in December. Investors now shift their focus to Thursday's non-farm payrolls report, which could help recalibrate bets for a rate cut from the Federal Reserve as soon as July.
Well, joining us this morning is the President and CEO of the Venango Area Chamber of Commerce. It's Susan Williams. Good morning, Susan. How are you today?
Good morning. I'm terrific. I just pulled up the Oil Heritage Festival schedule. It's really getting built out. There's so much planned for this year. So things are great here. Rolling right along.
You sound very confident and ready to go.
I am. I'm actually, really excited about the holiday. I've got family coming home to visit, so I'm excited about celebrating the 2nd, the 3rd, and the 4th of July. We live in a great region where everybody kind of takes their turn, and there's lots of fireworks and food vendors and really good things going on the next few days. And then that's, as soon as we get through the 4th, it's like all things are focused on Oil Heritage Festival for the Venango Chamber.
Well, I think one of the things that's absolutely great about this week, a couple things. One, the 4th's on a Friday, so that leads into a nice long weekend, but the weather is going to be absolutely perfect.
Oh, it looks like we've got a whole, just a string of days together that look beautiful. And as much as we fussed about the rain has our gardens looking beautiful and our grass growing green. And so we're not in a drought mode. So that's something to be really thankful for. So, yeah, things are good here.
So real quick, the hours for the chamber this week and obviously back next week?
Well, pretty normal hours other than Friday.
Okay.
So we will be out on Friday. Now, that said, I will be out more than in tomorrow. So we'll see how my staff is and what they have to do. I certainly will give them permission to honor the holiday and get started as early as their workloads allow them to. I never want to put them in a position where they're going to come in Monday and say, oh my gosh, I left things undone that are going to make my life harder. But I doubt that will happen. They're really efficient. So hopefully we can all start celebrating a little bit early tomorrow.
So many people take advantage of holidays in our area, using the trails, the waterways, visiting businesses and restaurants. It's really a great time to welcome those visitors to our region.
It is. It's, you ask me to remind people often, and I'm going to do it one more time, that, greeting people, being armed with good information to share, or knowing when you don't have the correct information and being willing to point people in a direction that will help them is so important to making sure that visitors feel welcome and want to come back again. So, each of our communities is a little different. We all have our strengths. Hopefully some people have received our newsletter already and are seeing the cover story that really is about how words matter when we talk about our community. We all have frustrations. We have our frustrations each day when we get up. There's things that may not go smoothly. There's things in our homes, things in our families, and things in our neighborhood, and things in our community. But I can promise you everybody's fighting the good fight and trying to do the right things. I witnessed that last night as I left work. I joined a volunteer crew that included students from Pathways and members of the Main Street Safe, Clean, and Green Committee, just kind of weeding and cleaning up Seneca Street in preparation for tomorrow night, with visitors coming in. So it's absolutely important to clean your windows, hang your open sign, make sure your window or your sidewalks are swept. But if you do all that and they walk in and you aren't there to greet them with a smiling face and the information they need, then it's kind of for naught. We need to be able to create the entire picture for everyone. And one of the things that I mentioned is being armed with good information, like knowing what's going on. So I know that not everybody has time to necessarily grab the paper, listen to the radio, read our newsletter, do the research. But there is a lot of information available. Around events, we hope that everyone visits our calendar. We have a great calendar at beherevenango.org. There's a number of ways you can get to that. That's the easiest, but you can go through the Venango Chamber and go to our community events calendar. It will link you there as well. That's a great place to see what's going on. So when people are saying, now when are the fireworks and who's or when, go to that calendar. You save it on your desktop. So anytime you want that, you can quickly go in and get what details are shared. Some groups are better at sharing information than others. But if you remind us, we'll nudge them or we'll try to fill in the gaps to make sure that information is out there. Also knowing about your neighbor businesses, knowing, who's open, what kind of things they carry. If they're not open, why? We've had some wonderful things going on recently. In the last month, we've cut the ribbon at Bailey's Jeweler. So one of our few locally owned jewelers around here now. Speaking of jewelers, Feldman's recently closed. Something Clever has recently opened in downtown Franklin. And so they're going to be having a grand opening here in a couple weeks, but they're open and ready for business. We know that the Olive Vault in Franklin is changing hands, and that's exciting. And we're meeting the new owners and watching things happen there. And of course, we're poised for the opening of the distillery, the Exchange by Side Hustle, that will be opening with a ribbon cutting on July 23rd.
Wow.
So you might see an earlier soft opening. We're kind of waiting to see. They're still tying up some loose ends, cleaning floors, putting together furniture, and making sure everything is just right when the doors are open all the time. when visitors are welcome to come in and order. But I know in Titusville and Meadville and Cranberry, all of our communities have wonderful things going on, businesses that are open for business and businesses that are planning to open. So, be an ambassador, ask questions to the right people. So sometimes Facebook world gives you the right answers, but sometimes it does not.
Yeah.
So when you really feel like you need to know or want to know and want to share information accurately, give a call to the chamber, give a call to the municipality that you're in, or go to a trusted business that is likely to know, because businesses talk to businesses. So go to one of the ones that you trust and ask them if they can give you some information about what's going on.
Well said. And, the other thing is, if you know kind of what's going on, not only can you share that information with those customers, but that can help maybe you decide, hey, there's a special event this night and maybe I should be open an extra hour later, or just, there's things you can do to take advantage of those situations. But you have to know that those things are going on and be connected.
Yeah, we all do our best to share that information, but we really need you to be seeking the information too. Everybody's looking for something a little different. So as hard as we try to keep people informed, we don't know what's important to everyone. So you're right. We all would like to see extended hours in our business. Our coffee shop here in Oil City, Woods and River just extended their hours until 5 o'clock. And I'm still getting used to it and kind of forget some days when I'm on my way home and get clear home and think, oh, I could have stopped and gotten a summer drink. But knowing that other businesses around you are open sometimes can either just, support that you're going to have more foot traffic, or maybe you want to talk to that business and say, hey, why don't we team up and do a little joint advertising or posting, or, I'll put a flyer on my window if you'll put a flyer on yours. Did you know that, across the street, a business has extended hours or has offered a new product? Co-marketing is so efficient, cost efficient, and it shows that businesses are working together.
Yes.
I overheard a conversation this week that was, someone struggling with chains opening and how that might be a threat to local businesses. And, it's something to be conscious of. We know it can have impact, and we love locally owned businesses, but we also want to make sure that people know that competition has value. So people want to move to communities, to shop, or, literally move to, but also move to visit places that have choices. So competition, businesses like yours or that complement yours are really good. Those become a community that attracts people, or a region that attracts people. If you can move across a few communities that are, 15 miles or less apart, people might actually make a day trip to the community to visit various businesses. But also it keeps us on our toes. When we know that we're not the only game in town, it might make us try just a little harder, be a little nicer, have a few more products, make sure our pricing is fair.
You brought this up to me a couple years ago, and it just kind of made me rethink some things. We were talking about large box stores coming in and small business and all that, and you said you have to remember too that they're employing local people, so that it's not a total disconnect from big box store versus small town. Our friends, our neighbors, relatives, they're working at these places.
Yeah, and they're paying taxes.
Yes.
They're paying taxes and contributing to our infrastructure. And in many cases, they're filling a gap that a small business just can't support here in our community. But you're right; they're employing people many times with very good salaries, if not to start, things to grow into with good benefits. So there are advantages of having some big box stores here. It means we've got their attention. So national chains often have the wherewithal to survive through some tougher times that a small business just couldn't get through. That said, we want more small businesses. We want to make sure small businesses are successful. So that's why, when you're thinking of opening a business or you're kind of struggling in your business, call your local chamber. We very likely will not directly have the answers, but we know who can help you. So, just in recent days, we've been meeting with several small businesses across our communities to help them understand, if there's any possibility of grants. Those are really tough. There's not a lot of giveaway money out there. It's not impossible, depending on your community. There might be some smaller number programs. It might require a match, but there's some low interest loan programs. And particularly if you can show that you will grow jobs, even a couple can be enough to maybe put you in line to get a nice low interest loan or maybe even some kind of grant. But it has to be really well planned out. And that's where often the Chamber, the Small Business Development Center, or one of our other economic development organizations can come in to make sure that you have the right documentation, the right information at hand. Because just like, your best friend or your family, we really shouldn't be loaning money if we don't know what's going to happen, if we want to have a good relationship afterwards.
Well, I'll tell you, I go back to 2001 when I started this business with Amy. I mean, everybody, every family, friends, you can get a loan. Anybody who starts a business gets money. Like, no, it doesn't quite work that way.
Yeah, it doesn't. There are opportunities. So you don't ask, you don't get. So I always say, check. Check. You never know when there might be. But more often than not, you have to have a bit of a track record. You've got to have some skin in the game where you either have some financial resources to start or you've done the work. The Chamber has been blessed by some generous local grants, but almost all of them came after we had put significant time and gave evidence that we were qualified and knowledgeable to continue to bring the programs that were grant worthy. And then we're able to say, hey, this may not be sustainable without some help.
Yeah.
So we've watched other small businesses that get grants, and almost always they struggled for a good many years before it became evident that what they did was important enough that someone needed to help keep them going.
The other thing I get all the time is I just write it off. Yeah, it doesn't quite work that way.
Oh, tax write-off. Yeah, that's gotten even harder. Yeah, so there was a time, I think, when it was a little easier to do. And unfortunately, we sometimes feel like maybe some scoundrels are able to figure out some ways to do it, at least till they get caught. But things that used to be an acceptable business expense just simply aren't anymore. So It's really important that's why you should have maybe some legal counsel, an accountant that you know and trust that will help you. And some of those kind of services may be available at either free or low interest, or low interest
costs,
loan costs from some of our organizations. We may be able to get someone that will at least give you some, a couple hours of consultation time to get you started. But it's really, really important to protect your own assets and your family's assets if you're going into a business. What seems obvious is always not always obvious. People say, well, I love this product or I love doing this service. So I'm sure everyone around me will. Well, just think about your family, how different you each are and what TV shows you like to watch, what your tastes are, what you like to eat. Yeah.
Yeah. Let's do this real quick. You're watching the Morning Drill on Stream TV and on the Armstrong Neighborhood Channel. Susan Williams with us here this morning, President and CEO of the Venango Area Chamber of Commerce. Conversation kind of leads me to think that if you're somebody who would like to be maybe more engaged or learn some leadership traits, I wonder if there's like a program out there that you offer that somebody could maybe take part in.
I don't know. What are we going to do? We sure do. Yeah, well, there were two things that came to mind. I wasn't sure what you were setting me up there for. One is, chamber membership.
Yeah.
So I know when I told Kat that I was going to take a call from home this morning and run a couple errands on my way into work, she said, oh, great. I've got a phone call at 9 to talk with someone that has shown some interest in membership. So we're not arm twisters. We no high pressure from the Venango Chamber. We just want to find out, is there a match? Is there alignment with what you need and what we do? And there are so many opportunities to be engaged with the chamber, even outside of membership. We love it when it's our members that we're doing things with, but occasionally there's someone that's not a member that sees value in participating, and I think you are getting at the leadership program. So we are taking applications right now. I think we've got about 5 or 6 in hand, and that doesn't include many of our visionary members who typically send at least 1, if not 2 people through the program. So we're building a great class. It already looks like it's going to just be a great group of people, some that I know and can't wait to get to know better, others that I don't know and can't wait to really become familiar with, and find out how this group fits together. So I'm pleased to see a lot of diversity in the kind of businesses that are represented, in the age of the people, age of experience. As I often say, you don't have to be new to leadership or young in years to participate in this program. If you're like me, you are seeing changes in your leadership journey every single day. There are books, some really, really popular books that we read over and over and over again, some of them daily. Just like that, leadership needs to be taken in all the time, because how we interpret that leadership journey is going to change depending on what's going on in the world, what's going on in our community, who's in the room with us, and what's changed in our lives. What has maybe made us change our perspective from a week ago, a month ago, a year ago. Certainly in a year's time, most of us have had life events that might just shift a little bit how we're taking in leadership. The leadership journey is not over for anyone. So if you say, well, you know what, I'm going to retire in a couple of years, so I'm no longer really going to need to be a good leader. Trust me, somebody's watching you. Somebody's looking at you as a potential mentor, someone that they're looking to know what's the right thing to do. So getting in a room full of people that are wanting to be better leaders, better members of the community is such a fun and easier way to go about developing yourself. So you may be leading in your family, you might be leading in your community. Likely you belong to some kind of an organization. Maybe it's a church, maybe it's a community group. And you may not want to step into the lead role. You don't have to be the designated leader to be in leadership. You simply have to be someone who wants to work with others in the community, be more knowledgeable about the community you live in. And that's transferable. So while we deliver this program in Venango County, we have had several people through the first 7 years that have come from the neighboring counties, Crawford and Clarion, and maybe even further than that. But we know that it's transferable. So they take what they learn in our program, go back into their community and say, who there looks like this? And who do I need to talk to?
Sometimes the better leader is the one that's kind of saying the right things to the proposed leader of that, of a group, offering advice and saying, hey, you should think about this, or let's try this. Oh yeah, that's a good idea. Let's do it, So you're right. You don't have to necessarily be that person. And I think that's what's great about the program is the stories that you have shared, that Christa have shared about people who didn't realize they had that in them. And this is a program that brings that out.
Well, and most of us at some point in our life might be choosing a leader.
Yeah.
So how do we know how to evaluate that we're choosing the right leaders, that we're advancing their interests, that we're supporting them in the way they need to accomplish the things we want done in the community? There's a really great, I think it's a TED Talk, a video. You can Google this. It's called First Follower. And the first follower is almost as important, maybe more important than the leader. Because the leader without anybody behind them is probably a pretty weak leader. So it really takes that first person to say, hey, this is worth paying attention to. I'm following after him or her. I'm going that direction. It's a really fun video too. So I would encourage you to check it out again. I think if you just do TED Talks and do first follower, there's a little dancing going on in there.
Oh, okay.
And it's very short. I think it is listed among the shortest TED Talks there are. So I think it's like a minute or two.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's your leadership soapbox speech today.
No, that's fantastic. What are some questions that you get? Are there like some common denominator, like, well, do I have to own a business? Do I have to be, young? Do I have to be, what are some things that people ask you about the program that maybe are right or wrong?
Well, I think the most common thing that is kind of an error is when we talk to someone about leadership, they immediately defer to who are their new leaders or young people in their organizations. And that's great if that's coming from someone that's already on a leadership path that they've been doing they don't have to do leadership training through our program, but they're seeking out ways to become a better leader. But if they're not, and they're looking for someone else to do it, that's like everything else in the community. If you're always looking to see who else would be better equipped, it's a good time to look inward and perhaps, where you could improve. And listen, if you come and you go through a couple classes and you're really disappointed, we're not meeting the mark, we'll talk about whether it's the right fit for you. We've only had that happen a couple of times where someone's like, yeah, this is just not going to work. Usually it's schedule or a change of jobs or something like that. But we would be respectful of someone that says, this is not what you told me it was going to be, and it's not going to work for me. I will say it takes a bit to build relationships. So we know that by the time we get to November, December, we watch friendships and bonds creating between the class. Don't get scared. You don't need to be best friends with these people. These are just people in the community that you might be, but they are people in the community that you can call and you're working together. I do want to put a quick plug in before our time runs out. I know we're getting close. oilheritagefestival.com. So that schedule is being built by the day. It is pretty complete, but it is not complete. We know there are people in the community that have told us they're doing things during Oil Heritage Festival. That's July 23rd through the 27th. And honestly, if you're doing something from kind of Saturday to Sunday of that week, and you would like to be included in our schedule, provided it's a kind of open family-friendly event, we'd like to at least get it on our website. We'll have a printable form that will be kind of brief dates and times for people to use as a reference if you absolutely want to fold something up and put it in your pocket. But generally, we're not distributing those widely in the community. They're available for you to print. We'll have a few in our office, maybe at a few key locations in Oil City where you can pick them up. But if you want to just mark on your phone, oilheritagefestival.com. You can go in and you see the schedule. That way we can update it if something happens, if it rains or someone cancels, we'll be able to keep that there. And it's not too late to be listed as a sponsor there. So if you haven't committed and you'd like to see your name or logo, let us know how that you're interested, and we'll see how we can add you.
All right. Excellent. But call the chamber sooner rather than later.
Yes, we have as far as sponsorships and the schedule, we have already put some things in our newsletter that just went out yesterday. So pop on the chamber website and look at the beautiful newsletter. We will be doing some other print advertising, local media that does have a deadline in the next week or so. So you're going to want to get in. And if you want maximum representation, we can get you on the website today. Probably this morning, if you want to be counted among the supporters of the festival. So we do things fast. So let us know if you want to be added to that, or again, if you want something on the schedule. And do call us if you have any questions. We're still taking collections for a basket raffle. We generally are taking them right up till we start selling them, and sometimes after. So if you have items or baskets you'd like to be included there, it's a great way to promote your business. Put your business card, make it pretty, represent what you do. And then buttons are technically for sale too. So I know I'm taking you over time. So.
No, you're good. Thanks, Susan. Have a great 4th.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye. That's Susan Williams joining us here this morning, President and CEO of the Venango Area Chamber of Commerce.
89259 to make an appointment today. Anyone with a kind and generous heart and a little money can be a philanthropist. You too can be a force for good in our community, and the Crawford Heritage Community Foundation is here to help you make the most of your charitable giving. We've partnered with hundreds of people like you to make our world and our community a better place. You can give through us to support scholarships or any charitable organization or purpose. Whether you're interested in establishing a permanent endowment or adding to an existing fund, we want to be a part of your plan. Contact us when you're ready to make your mark. Together, we can make your contribution go further.
The Gordon B. Garrett Funeral Home has been serving the needs of Titusville and surrounding communities since 1965. Mr. Garrett believed in tradition and commitment to excellence, standards that have been passed down from one generation to now a new generation, who will work to provide you with a beautiful, lasting tribute to your loved one. When you need them, they will be there for you. This has been their foundation for almost 60 years. The Gordon B. Garrett Funeral Home, 303 North Washington Street in Titusville.
Thinking about switching to 5G home internet? Think again. Unlike Zoom from Armstrong, 5G home internet is delivered by a cell tower. The further away you are, or the more devices connected to that tower, the slower your internet is. Cell phone providers also play favorites. When their network gets busy, cell phones win, and your home internet pays the price. Stick with Armstrong to get more data, more speed, and internet whenever you need it, not whenever they want. Armstrong, keeping you connected.
Sheer Design is Titusville's exclusive Paul Mitchell-focused salon. This full-service salon specializes in coloring, cuts, nails, and tanning. Owner Angela Saxon has over 20 years' experience as a Paul Mitchell professional. She and her licensed staff offer all cuts and styles for men and women of all ages. Call 814-827-0010 or stop in at 116 South Kerr Street in Titusville.
J. Gill Plumbing and Heating takes pride in being the premier heating and air conditioning service provider in the area. With over 30 years of experience, our highly skilled and certified technicians will work closely with you to address your heating and air conditioning repair, installation, or maintenance needs. Our team is dedicated to making your home the ultimate place of comfort. Call today to get a free estimate. We also offer financing options and membership opportunities that provide peace of mind and cost savings. Call J. Gill Plumbing and Heating today or visit them online 24/7 at jgillplumbingheating.com.
If you're looking for a professional massage therapist, Tranquil Moments Massage in Titusville is here for you. Ray and Rauch graduated from Slippery Rock University with a bachelor's degree in exercise and rehabilitative sciences with an emphasis in athletic training. Tranquil Moments offers a wide range of services from Swedish massage to deep tissue, sugar scrubs to hot towel inclusion therapy. Like them on Facebook and visit their website to learn more about all the services they offer. Tranquil Moments Massage in Titusville.
Share the fun of train travel and relive our country's oil history as you ride the OC&T through the valley that changed the world. Learn about the past while traveling on vintage cars. See a variety of wildlife with stops at Drakewell Park, Petroleum Center, and Oil Creek State Park. Arrive early and see the vast collection of train and railroad memorabilia at Perry Street Station. After the ride, enjoy a night's stay at the Caboose Motel. For seasonal specials or for more information, visit octrr.org or call 814-676-1733.
U.S. stocks ended mixed on Tuesday, with the Dow gaining just under 1%, the S&P 500 edging down marginally, and the Nasdaq shedding more than 0.8%. The Senate's passage of President Donald Trump's tax and spending package had investors weighing the bill's stimulative effects against its multi-trillion-dollar cost, said Alexander Morris, CEO and Chief Investment Officer of FM Investments.
Today, I think we're really seeing the impact of Washington on Wall Street, which is domestic stocks, big name stocks are moving up, some fear of what's going to happen into higher volatility technology names, but a realistic understanding that the government is going to spend heavily so, and it's going to spend in the names you know and love. If you look at names that are moving, tech names aren't going down, they're just coming off record highs. And it's okay for us to have a day or two of reprieve off of what otherwise is not the macro backdrop for all-time record highs in U.S. equity markets.
Meanwhile, Elon Musk's revived criticism of Trump's bill weighed on shares of Tesla. The EV maker's stock ended more than 5% lower after Trump threatened to cut off the billions of dollars in subsidies that Musk's companies get from the federal government. Among other movers, shares of U.S.-based casino operators rose after Macau reported a rise in June gambling revenue. Shares of Wynn Resorts and Las Vegas Sands rose nearly 9% each, while shares of MGM Resorts International added more than 7%. Healthcare stocks helped boost the blue-chip Dow, with United Health and Amgen each gaining more than 4%, the latter coming within striking distance of its all-time high reached in December. Investors now shift their focus to Thursday's non-farm payrolls report, which could help recalibrate bets for a rate cut from the Federal Reserve as soon as July.
Well, here's a real quick look at that weather forecast for northwest Pennsylvania. Areas of dense morning fog. That should be burning off, though. Mostly sunny today and temperatures in the low 80s. Clear to partly cloudy skies tonight with lows in the low 60s. Thursday, mostly sunny, low 80s. Friday, for the 4th, mostly sunny, low 80s. Saturday, partly cloudy, upper 80s. And Sunday, sunshine and a high of 90. It's a beautiful stretch of weather we're coming into for the 4th of July. It's just wonderful. Meadville at 70 this morning. Cambridge Springs, Edinburgh at 69. Titusville 69. Franklin this morning 68. Oil City 67 degrees here at 8:38. This is the Morning Drill. You're watching it on Stream TV and on the Armstrong Neighborhood Channel. Jennifer Taylor joins us this morning from the United Way of the Venango and Titusville region. Hi, Jennifer. How are you?
I'm doing well, thanks. How are you?
Good to see you this morning.
Good to see you.
I can't believe, we're into a new month. Summer's just kind of flying by. But I want to recap because you've had a busy school year. How did everything finish up there? And then we'll talk about what's going on this summer.
The school year finished off as it always does, where everyone's just happy to make it to the end, I think. It went well. All of our programming there is going well. The social workers and the career counselors stayed busy right up till the last day, and I think felt like they had done their best to help everybody that they could getting out of high school. Especially, they were especially anxious to make sure everybody walks on graduation day. So,
and I just want to say how important. I don't know if you get phone calls from school districts that thank you, but. It just seems like the impact that your crew has with the students is incredible. Especially, and it's not taken away from teachers. There's how many kids in a classroom, and they're trying to help everybody.
Yes.
And it's really hard. But to have somebody there to kind of help and to push kids in a different way, I think is very special, unique, and I think it's very impactful.
I appreciate that. They work so hard meeting kids where they are, sitting down with them, going through paperwork, trying to help them figure out how to apply for a job, figure out how to apply to college, try to, find resources that they need for their families. There's just so much that every child needs to be successful. And you're right, teachers have to teach class. They don't have time to also do all of this other work with the kids, though they all want to. Anyone in that career wants everything that's the best for their students.
Yeah, so. It's challenging, but you make it through.
You do.
Is there ever a week where it's just like a smooth week, or is there always
at school?
Yeah,
not that I've heard of.
Okay, like how much do you adjust during the course of a year, or a day, or a week? I mean, are you getting phone calls from people in the school, or they? This whole thing just fascinates me.
They do. Specifically, the social workers probably more than the career counselors, but yes, they do sometimes call and are like, do you have an idea of who I could call for, specifically if they're looking for a resource? I have a student who needs glasses. Who do you think we can call? I have a student who needs, this. But also just sometimes they call to say, oh, it's been a day, and I just need to tell somebody about it and just get it off my chest so that I can move on to tomorrow. So,
but what you just said, I think that shows too how much they care about the students. And it is amazing, isn't it, what a simple thing can do, a simple act of kindness. Somebody needs glasses, a new pair of shoes. I've been told by somebody in administration at a school district that they'll buy, the school will, somebody will just go out and buy a new pair of shoes because a kid needs them and not say a word because, you know, they don't want the attention. It's not about that.
Right.
But the difference that makes, that child is coming in, that student's coming into school with a better attitude, a smile on their face. They're learning, when a student shuts down like that, it's challenging. But having your folks in place, for example, really help with that. So
I appreciate that. They really do their best and try to help. And there are so many people in the schools helping. And I always think Titusville has such an incredible community to help school-age students, that you have different organizations who give shoes, give hygiene packs, have food for the weekend. All of those things make such a big difference to keeping a child healthy and able to go to school and learn. Like, it's a big deal, and it takes everybody working together. It really is an overwhelming task.
Yes. And with that being said, which everybody says that, I hate it. There's a lot of times that those 8 hours are the best 8 hours of a kid's day.
Yeah, not all of them feel that way, I don't think, but
yes.
But it may be their safest 8 hours.
Yeah.
It may be, and that's sadly the truth for some kids, yes.
So what's the transition to summer like for you and the crew, and what are some of the plans this summer?
So our social workers get to have the summer off, which is great for them to kind of recoup. And a lot of them, our social workers have to do a lot of continuing education to keep their licenses. They are all licensed by the state, so they are not just sitting around. They all have education and courses that they need to take. But the career counselors, they work all summer. We are running 3 week-long career camps. They are centered in Venango County at the old Clarion campus it's Venango campus now, still called Venango campus. This is our 3rd year running them. Each week we focus on a career cluster. So our weeks this year, we had our first week last year, and it was Public Safety Week. We toured the courthouse. We met with a lot of different law enforcement and fire safety officials and learned about not just what they do, but the education required to get their jobs, where they work, how they like their jobs, things like what would it be like to be a firefighter? What would it be like to be a police officer? And how do you get that job? And the kids really find it fascinating. They learn so much. Our next week is STEM, and we've done a lot of robotics in the past, so we sort of veered to talking about all of the other STEM careers that people don't think about, like archaeology and architects and accounting. And when we say engineer, or when we say STEM, we always think engineers, and we are going to see engineers. We're going to do a tour of Grand Valley. We're going to do a tour of Komatsu and meet the engineers at those places. But we're going to talk to the banks and accounting firms and places that we don't always think of when we say STEM, but are in fact STEM careers. So, and again, so kids see that there are a wide variety of jobs available around here, and how you would go about doing one of those jobs. What kind of requirements are there to move into those careers? And our last week is arts, AV, and technology, and we're excited because the kids are going to come up here and see Stream TV. Learn about these kinds of careers, because this is such a fascinating combination of artistic ability and technology. So we're going to see artists that week. We're going to see musicians. We're going to go to the Seawolves game and see how you run a baseball game, because it's actually arts management and business management of a sports team are actually very similar, because it's like running a theater basically to keep that show running. So we have a lot of exciting trips planned, and so many people are so willing to share their expertise and their time and explain to kids, these are jobs. This is how I got my job. This is how I built my career. And we want students to see that there's so much more here locally than they realize. Every year, parents come back and say, I didn't know this place existed around here. I didn't know there was a job like that here. So we really try to show them that there's so much you can do here, not just one business that they've heard of, or teachers, because they know teachers because they go to school.
Right.
So the camps have been very successful. We've had kids come back. This is their third year returning because they really enjoy them, and we do projects. Last week, they did a mock trial, which was super exciting to watch the kids. We put them on stage in the auditorium, and they walked through all of the steps of running a court case, which was really interesting. I mean, I think they learned a lot. Obviously, it wasn't quite Law and Order standard, but it was really fascinating to watch them try to work out how do you object to what the prosecutor says, and then the judges had to figure out whether or not there was a reasonable objection. And watching them all try to think about that was just very exciting.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
And I think the more you can expose those students to these things, right? Those like aha moments kind of pop out where it's like, I didn't realize that could be done, or I didn't realize that could be done here. There's that aspect of it.
I think that's a huge part of it. I didn't realize that could be done here. Last year when we did Hospitality and Tourism Week and we took them to museums, and we're like, there are museum directors here because we have museums. So we have people who have gone to school to learn how to manage Drake well, who have gone to school to manage how to know how to manage the Venango Museum. Like, they didn't just show up one day and say, boy, I think I'd like to be in charge here. They actually have this whole education that allows them to understand how to do that well. And I think it's important for kids to understand that, and our whole community. Again, parents are always sort of stunned. They're like, wow, I didn't even think about all of these things around here. So it's a great opportunity to expose everyone to our community. And the students in the camps are between 6th grade and 10th grade. So they're that middle school age where people start to ask them what they want to be when they grow up. So we just try to give them some more ideas.
Yeah. I know. So I have 2 kids at college, and I said to both of them, I said, I know you're going, and this is what you have in mind. But if you take a class or classes and something's leading you in a different way, go for it.
Right.
And you hate for it to be at that level where they're kind of discovering. But the problem is they are discovering. And there's so much out there.
So much.
And it's tough to ask a kid who's only in 9th grade, hey, what do you want to be? That's a lot of pressure, especially when they don't know what's out, all that's out there.
Absolutely. It's so difficult to understand. It's so difficult to decide, and it's paralyzing to some high schoolers. They have no idea where to even begin. It's great that there are so many options, but it's confusing as well. And you're right. It's just an opportunity to try to give them a few more ideas before they have to fill out. I mean, they spend a lot of time in school doing career cruising. Different schools call it different things, but to try to figure out, what do you want to be when you grow up? And it's hard. They don't have enough exposure to the world to be able to make those decisions.
Yeah. And there's a lot of things now in place, I think, that can help guide you if you've maybe gone a path and you're like, I don't know if I want to keep doing this.
Yeah.
Which is great around here, from the universities we have to, different trades that are available. And you have businesses that are willing to, I think, also invest in employees and train them. And as long as, you show up on time, that's big. But, if you have these, certain traits, then yes, we can invest in you.
And that's so much of what we talk about too are those soft skills: showing up on time, being respectful. The first year we did lunches at Bella Cucina, so they had a business lunch, so they had to sit in a nice restaurant and learn how to behave in a way that would be appropriate, because some of those soft skills are really what hold people back from moving forward in their career. Being able to behave appropriately around other people. Unfortunately, and I know it always seems so judgy, and it is, but it's kind of the reality of the world. So we do try to help them, your manners matter. They do in the workplace.
Just a little bit.
Just a little bit.
Let's do this real quick. You're watching the Morning Drill on Stream TV and on the Armstrong Neighborhood Channel. Jennifer Taylor with us, Education and Community Impact Manager with the United Way of the Venango and Titusville region. That's been a lot of fun, probably getting everything merged together. And
every time we open up another document, we're like, oh, there's another logo that's wrong. It's just...
You don't think sometimes, where is this logo at? It's everywhere.
It's everywhere. Trying to get it, fix it on everything, every website, everything, yes.
Is it too late for somebody to join one of the summer camps?
If they called me today, I could maybe get them in. They're pretty full, and we're doing a lot of paperwork. We're working on a collaboration with PA Career Link to help fund some of the camps, which has just been a new opportunity that came up literally in the last week. So there'll be a press release coming out about that. So we're down to the wire if you really want to do it, because next Monday is our second camp. So
okay. National Night Out coming up Tuesday, August 5th.
Yes. We're very excited about these events. They have been extremely successful in bringing people together.
Okay. And it looks like there's a lot of opportunities, a lot of locations.
There are throughout Venango, and Titusville has a National Night Out event that's run from your police and fire department. We gave them some financial support, but really that's all we do. We give financial support to these events, and they are run by either an organization, or some of them it's just a person in that community who says, I want to do this event, and they put in the time and the effort and plan it, and they're so impressive to go there and see how many people from the community attend, how many organizations they get to participate. They're really a lot of fun.
Here's kind of a neat thing. You're hiring.
We are hiring. We are hiring. We are expanding. We've come up with a new name. Our esteemed boss, Will, who is out of the country right now, so that's why you have me. It's called it's a Center for Community Innovation, and we've hired a director for this, and we are looking for grant writers. We're going to hire 2 of them to help in the Venango and Clarion region. The grant we got was to cover Clarion and Venango with grant writing for different nonprofit organizations in these counties. It's part of a capacity building measure that we're taking. We already have a marketing specialist who works with 10 nonprofits in our area, and for a low cost. The first year it was free to the organizations, but he has done tons of work with their social media, with their websites, making annual reports, things like that I think in the nonprofit sector, we're always like, well, that's just not as important. And we don't like to spend money on it. From a donor's perspective, we're like, well, I don't want to pay for your website. However, if people don't know you exist and people can't find you when they're in need, then you're not going to be able to help them. People have to be able to find you. People have to be able to get information about you. And his name is Levi Shalat. He's done an amazing job helping these organizations. Every one of them was like, oh, it does make a difference. We do have better recognizability in the community, and it really helps people find you when they need you. And that's a huge part of what marketing is. And I know it seems obscure or strange to the nonprofit world, but it's really very important that people in need figure out how to find you when they need you. So we're expanding that idea of helping our local nonprofits be able to be more visible and to get more funding. So we're hoping that this new organized community grant writers that we will have will help people by writing grants for them, by helping them with reporting, by building capacity for, say a small fire department that needs to apply for a grant online, but nobody in that fire department has the time or ability to do that because it's gotten more complicated. It isn't just like I'm going to fill out this paper and I'm going to mail it in. That's not where we're at in the world of grant writing. So we're hoping that we can help the community at large, not just by raising money and handing it out to them, but by actually having people that we can hand their skills out to people. The skills are hard to pay for and they're hard to find, and we want to be a connector to the community at large for grants and other useful things.
I'll tell you, it takes a lot of time to sit and do research on. If you're a nonprofit and you guys sit there and get numbers and try to put things together for a grant, but yet you got to take care of this and this and this. And the other thing is, we talk about with the chamber directors all the time. There's so many businesses that have these great stories, but they're so busy doing their thing, and it's like this would be a great selling point for recruitment.
Right.
Like your company builds stuff that goes into space.
Right.
That's a great
right here,
right here,
around here.
Yeah, it's like, oh yeah, that's a good story. We just don't have time to tell it. Nonprofits, I think, are the same. There's some nonprofits that have some great stories, impactful stories to tell, but they're so busy doing what they do.
Right.
It's hard to take time for themselves to say, hey, let's make sure we're okay too.
Right.
So
they do. And I don't think people even realize how many organizations are. Titusville always blows my mind. You've got Associated Charities, you have Love Inc., you have United Way, you have some other organizations. They all work together. They all do different things, but they all talk to each other. The Salvation Army, all of them trying so hard to keep your community taken care of and to make it a stronger, better place. And I think if you're not looking for those services, you don't realize they exist. Without some good marketing to get your stories out there, people just don't know. And they don't have time for it. And some of them, and this is the other thing, it's a skill set to understand how to make a really good flyer, how to make a really good report, how to make a good video. I'm always fascinated by your videos because it's not, I know we're all like, well, AI can do anything, but there's a real difference between somebody who knows what they're doing and somebody who just put that together on Canva. Like, we're not all the same. It's not all the same. And when you have someone who knows what they're doing and does a really good job, it is so much more impactful. The story does get through better. And that's what we're trying to help locally with the nonprofits in our area, to give them better storytelling, to get them better data for their grant writing, to be able to get a more professional shine on the work they're doing so that they are able to bring in more money and more, to be able to help more people. Like, really, it's just about helping them. They don't have the time to do all of that themselves.
Before we wrap up, there's Just Me and My Whiskey Friends fundraiser here. Let's see here. Tickets are on sale. One ticket for $5, 3 tickets for $10. They can be purchased online or through maybe the Venango, or I'm sorry, the Franklin Area Chamber. Drawings for this event. Let me see.
The 12 Days of Christmas.
The 12 Days of Christmas, yes.
There we go. Yep.
Yes.
It is, yes. So this is an event Venango's done for probably about 5 years, and it's a lot of fun. We have packages of different kinds of alcohol. One is, a beer package worth $150. One will be a wine package worth $150, et cetera. And we do drawings every day for 12 days.
There it is.
There it is. Usually it's a FaceTime Live at lunchtime, and Mallory comes on and she will pull, well, we don't pull it anymore. We have a special screen with an Excel spreadsheet. And you push it's so exciting though, when you push the screen and then the wheel stops and the name pops up. So it's a lot of fun, and people do enjoy winning a big pile of alcohol. So, but the good part is that this is to benefit the Imagination Library, which is a wonderful, wonderful group. The Imagination Library from Dolly Parton's foundation. Dolly Parton pays for the books, but there has to be a local entity that supports it, and we pay for the shipping. So we have, between Titusville and Venango County and Forest County, who Venango and Titusville also cover, we have about 1,700 kids getting books right now between the ages of birth and 5 years old in those 3 areas. So it's a lot of money when it's $30 per kid per year, which is really very cheap because you're only paying for the shipping of the books, and the books are free. But once you do the math, you're like, oh, that's a lot of money. So that's why this fundraiser is so important. It helps us make sure that we can continue to get books to kids all through our area.
Keep it up.
We will.
Good to see you. Thank you.
Great to see you. Thank you.
Take care.